Okay, so basically what we have to do here, we have to show one equation that's simpler in polar form than rectangular, and then down here we have to show one equation that's simpler in rectangular than in polar. So basically, our first example that we're going to be talking about is going to be the a plus or minus b times cos of theta. So basically, based on the relationship between a and b, we're going to be looking at a limison. So basically, it could be looking like this. Oh no, that's a bad drawing. It could be looking like this. Let me draw it smaller, actually. It could be looking like this. It basically just looks kind of like a lima bean. Sometimes it might go inside, it might loop like that. But basically, it's all the same general concept. Meanwhile, then let's just have equal to r right here. And meanwhile, in rectangular, it would be equal to y. So y is equal to a plus or minus b times cosine of theta. And there, we would end up having it look something like this. And it would go on forever. So basically, that's why this one over here is simpler. Because this is just one. It's not an infinite thing. It's just one thing. It's in one place. So for the explanation, let's just write in one place, not infinite. Now we have to give an example of a curve that's simpler in rectangular form than in polar form. Okay, so an example of a curve that is simpler in rectangular form than in polar form would be something like a times cosine of n times theta is equal to r. And in rectangular would be the same thing, except it would be equal to y. So basically in polar form, based on the n value, it would be a petal. If it's an even, it would if it was an if n is an even number, the number of petals in the rows will be n times 2. If it's an odd number, it's just going to be n. So let's just say if n is equal to let's just say 4, then we would end up having 8 petals. So it would look like, so pardon if this is a bad drawing, but you can probably get the idea. So basically, well, this is my really bad drawn rows, but this is basically something like how the polar graph will look like. And meanwhile, if it was in rectangular form, it would look normal. It would just look like a regular cosine graph, like that. And the reason why I feel like this one is simpler here than this one is because rows has so many parts. And then the rectangular form is the same thing forever. And that's it.